Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first look at King's Bounty: The Dark Side. For those of you who do not know the King's Bounty series, if you like games like Heroes of Might and Magic, Discipline, Age of Wonders, Masters of Magic, all kind of strategy games, turn-based, and with a little bit of real-time. No worries to those who are about nearly 30 or 40 years old and have a reaction of a brain-dead squirrel with boned hands. I can manage this game, and I'm nearly 40 years old, and my best times hunting Kilrathi fighters and TIE fighters in X-Wing are long past, and I still manage to do this game quite well. So, what is this all about? Well, let's have a look. We can choose between 3 different heroes. What does that tell us? Well, first of all, this is not a multiplayer game. This is pure single player. This world belongs to you. There are no other heroes running around, stealing your stuff, taking your mines, and annoyingly taking what's yours, and you'll have to hunt them down one after another again and again, like it was in the old Heroes of Might and Magic series sometimes. So, normally in King's Bounty you're playing the very good guys, meaning you were a treasure hunter in the service of a king to save the country, or you are the princess, the daughter of the king saving the world from a demon invasion, or you were a Viking son of a Jarl trying to save the Vikings from an undead invasion. This time you're the undead, for example, or you're the demon, or you're the orc. Well, but still, if you read the backstory here, the orcs have been beaten by the elves, so it's on you to save the children, or the demons have been beaten. Well, they deserve it if you ask me. And here the vampires, their ancient castle is under siege, and you try to save the world. So, more or less, we're still the good guys. And never forget, King's Bounty is famous for its humor. This game has a very, very special and very, very good sense of humor. It refers to other things in real life or in other games in a very humorous matter, and it's really fun, believe me. So, we can choose difficulty. The difficulty mainly tells us that the enemy strength will go up, while the income in battles will go down, and we will get less battle rage. Battle rage is some kind of mana. There is mana for spells, but there is also battle rage, which you can use for special abilities in combat to influence the combat. So we can have a name, and we can take the nickname as we like. And well, for this time we take that, and we can choose a sigil of our liking. This is just for show. Woohoo! No, I'm not sexist. I'm married with a wonderful woman. I'm taking the rabbit, because that's my call sign, and I don't tell you why that is the case. Maybe, well, not this time, anyway. So, let's have a look at the game itself. See the drawings? Wonderful. That was loud. I'm badly wounded, Bugger, I'm dying. The orcs lost their last battle. Our chief Zorg fell on the field. You must leave and lead the remnants of the troops away. There's an old mine at the foot of the old mountain, which you can go through and to enter the dwarven dungeons. I won't be able to go that far. Abandon me here and lead your party to the old mountain. I'll tell the shaman to pick you up and heal you. Thank you, Bergir. Call the shaman to head with your party along the shore or to the old mountain. And one more thing, Bugger. Take my scimitar. It's of no use to me, but it may help you. Good luck, Bugger. Don't be sad. Desar names orcs, I tell you. The shaman will heal you. I'll have to go. And we get an item. The orcish scimitar. I do not know how big the background sound is. I think it's still too loud. Oh, it's still there. Strange but true. Well, this is an early access, so we better not wonder. So this is the world itself. We see here the enemy ships. I think that was what is left of the Orcish encampment. And there we see a target. For example, this is now all real time. Real time. You see, he moves, we move. Look how the Orc moves. Have you ever seen someone move with such an energy? That's a real hero. That's the spirit. That's a warrior. Woohoo! Yes, glorious. Okay, it has a day and night circle, which is important because some units and some artifacts work better at night than at day, and vis-a-vis. You have gold, with which you can buy troops and items, spells and potions on some special shops. You have rage, which you can use in combat, and you have mana, which you can use for spells. Now you see this guy has spotted us and he will follow us. This is the real-time aspect of the game. You can outmaneuver him quite easily. He's not the fastest. There are monsters that are faster. And if we get a certain distance to him, he will go dormant. See? He does not see us now, so he starts his normal round again. That means you can lure enemies away from things you want to get for yourself. This also means you can trick enemies into certain areas, not that they fight each other, they will not do that, but you can more or less store them there and then explore what is behind them or what they are guarding. So this is our face, this is our name, this is our level, this is our experience, and that is our leadership. When you know, well, for example, Heroes of Might and Magic or Age of Wonders, the number of troops you can have is only limited by your money. Here it is limited by your leadership. For example, small creatures, level 1, need 15 leadership or 10 or 5 or whatever, and so we can have 13 of this. Bigger creatures need more leadership, and so you can have less of them. So that's the trick with the leadership. The three classes have different heights of leadership. For example, in the old times there were the knight, the bard and the mage, which means the knight has a decent number of leadership, the bard has the biggest number of leadership, and the mage has the fewest number of leadership points. And also they're getting different amounts of leadership every turn. So let's see what we have here. This is an orc army with a neutral. Yes, there are different races. You can have a pure orc army, you can have a pure human army, you can have an elf army, an undead army, a neutral army, a demon army, a snow elf army, a dwarf army. You can have, oh boy, you can have armies of different types. You can mix, that is possible. The only problem is some guys don't like each other. For example, if we go on the little orc button, it tells us that orcs do not like lizards and Vikings and hate the light. So if we're trying to mix these guys with light troops, say paladins or some angels or that kind of troops, they will go down in moral, which means moral goes up. Yay! You get a bonus to attack, defense, initiative and whatever. And if the moral goes down, you guys will start to fight very, very bad. So always look out for moral. There are skills that can level up morals, and there are skills that can ease the, well, team up problems with the different races. So that orcs say, okay, we don't like light, but whatever, we fight with them together. Such skills exist. This is your radar. It tells you where the enemy moves. Always keep an eye on that. And that is dig for treasure. I'm not sure if we can find a treasure here for you to demonstrate that. Now we've activated the guy again. Ui, yay, now we have two of them, but you see, no problem, we outmaneuver them easily. Oh, come on, there must be a little chest for us to show. No chest for me? No kidding? No chest for me, okay. Oh. There are not only enemies on the battlefield, there are also troops that can join you, and that will join you. For example, here are goblins. There are different kinds of goblins, there are different kinds of orcs, and let's lure that guy away. So, that brings us to troops. Every troop has an attack value, a defense value, initiative, speed, critical chance, damage potential, health. And some have talents, and most of all have abilities. For example, he does not like light troops. He can throw his axe to a distance of 3 cells. Cells, that is the squares on the battlefield when you go into tactical combat. He has no melee penalty, so he can throw things, but he's also good in close quarter combat. The more times he hits a unit, the better. He is very good against high level units. He has a chance to get a special boost when he kills someone. And he has adrenaline. Adrenaline is a special fuel for goblins. Only goblins use adrenaline, and it can be quite useful if you know how to put it up. And you see, his special abilities only work at a defined adrenaline level. So let's have a look at the hero. Here you see attack and defense. These two stats are given to every one of your units. So if I equip this dagger, you will notice we have 2 attack, and our goblin that normally has only 6 attack will now have 8. Every point of attack above the enemy defense gives 10% more damage. Every point of defense above the enemy attack value gives 5% less damage. Initiative tells you how fast you're in combat. Well, that means more precisely when it is your turn in a combat round. Speed is how fast you can move on the battlefield. Critical chance, well, that explains itself. How likely it is that you do it critical damage. That is your damage potential and your type of damage. That is very important, because there is physical damage, magical damage, poisonous damage, fire damage, ice damage, and some enemies are, for example, very resistant to physical damage, ghosts for example, so you might consider having someone in your army that can do magical damage. On the other hand, there are troops that are mainly immune to magic damage, speaking of dragons, so having a pure magical army will not be a good choice. So, here's the number, here's the race, here's the name, here's the level. Low level can be positive because it's very easy to cast spells on low level units. It is very hard sometimes to cast spells on high level units. So having low level units is good for you if you cast spells on your own units. It's also very bad because the enemy, if the enemy has his own hero, yes, that exists, can cast spells on your units very easy as well. That brings us to the spellbook. This is the spellbook. There are 3 stages of spells. You can level that up if you pay crystals. Crystals is what you find, by the way, in the game. And then you can level up the spells. You see, normally slow only decreases the enemy unit speed by 1. If you level it up, it reduces the enemy speed by 2. Same goes for haste. +1, level it up and it gives +2. If you're lucky, the mana requirement stays the same. Most time it goes up. If you level it up, you can still cast it at level 1 if you want, but you can boost it to level 2 if you need to. We have Fear, we have Berserker. Well, there are a hell of different spells. There are 3 different type of spell schools, and there are so-called Wanderer scrolls, which are extremely powerful. The thing with the scrolls is you can find scrolls on the world in battle and can buy them, and you can either use them as single use, then they're gone, or you can inscribe them in your spellbook, then they're gone too, but you can cast them from that time on from your spellbook. Mana is regained either on the battlefield on certain occasions, or it goes back by time on the real map, real-time map, or you can drink potions or use special items to regain mana. Same is with rage. These are the awards. The awards are very important. It's one of the nicest ideas in the game. I mean, this game is full of nice ideas, but this is a special one. Awards, you get awards for accomplishing different things. For example, if you kill a certain number of enemies without losing your own units, you get a bonus to leadership. If you kill a certain number of dragons, you get a bonus fighting dragons in the future. if you cast certain spells a number of times in combat, you get a bonus to your resistance, and so on. For example, if you collect crystals, you get a bonus to your intellect, and that is all permanently. So it's very, very interesting and very, very important to look what bonuses can I get, what bonuses do I need first, and what must I do to get the bonus. So fighting does not only mean to win the battle, it also means to get the award benefits. So if I fight a battle, for example, and where was it? Here. And I know that I will get +3 resistance if I cast this mentioned spells here, Blue Avenger, Night Power and Dark Cover 50 times. So I will try to cast this as often as possible in combat to get the benefit from that. And that is only level 1. So Metal 1 order. This goes up to Metal 5. So if I train that up 5 times, I will have, for example, I think 15 resistance to all. Isn't that wonderful? And that for all units in my army. For all resistances there are, meaning physical, poison, magic, fire, cold and astral. Cool, isn't it? Wonderful. So this is your inventory. You can carry as many items as you want, no problem here, but you can only equip a certain number of items. For example, a warrior like him has 2 sword slots or weapon slots, but he can also equip a shield and a sword. He can wear 2 artifacts and regalia. Regalia are some like flags, most of them give you bonuses to your leadership. He can only wear 1 armor, and he can only wear 1 regalia, this one here. He can wear 1 pair of shoes, 1 belt or gloves, and 1 helmet. Well, he's only got 1 hat. What shall he do? He's not an Atin. These are your runes. You get runes on the battlefield, you get runes on the real-time map, you get runes for accomplishing quests, and you get runes once you level up. Problem is, when you level up, as a fighter class, the orc will mainly get might runes, not so many spirit runes, and not so many magic runes. So he will be very able to build up this might tree. He will have problems filling up the mind and the magic tree. You might notice that there are 4 more icons on the might tree that are missing here. So the hero with the mind, with the spirit runes, the mind hero, will have 4 more skills here, and the magic hero will have will have 4 more skills here. These skills are very different in cost. You see, there is the cost 4 might runes and 1 magic rune, and here 6 might runes and 2 magic runes, and this goes up to, well, 9 might runes and 3 spirit runes. So I will go over this slowly, as same as the awards, that those of you who are already in the game and find this all boring can stop the recording when they want to and have a look at the new skill tree. Yes, the skill tree varies from game to game, and so I think this is important to analyze this. Again, this is early access, so if something's not working here at the moment, if something is not quite balanced, don't think too much about that. That will be done for quite quickly. So, for example, in order to cast spells, you must learn these 3 spell schools. And if you want to cast, for example, Chaos Magic level 3, you will have to put this up to level 3. You will have to collect a lot of magic runes to pay for this. And of course you need first this, and then you can go for that. So, that is this. You have a reserve, 2 units in reserve, where you can store units that you're actually not using and put them back once you need them, and you can switch. For example, it's always good to have a special unit with you that you can fall back to, for example, a dragon or a spellcaster if you encounter certain enemies where you think that you need them. This little guy that looks like a Wolverine version of an elf is a werewolf. He is stated to be weak. As we do not have the skill for identifying the enemy at the moment, we cannot see how his army is composed. But we expect that the werewolf is his strongest or most numberable unit. And so let's fight him. So, if you see that the enemy moving on the real world is this guy, for example, that does not mean that he has no bigger units or more high-level units in his army. Most likely it is the strongest, but it is not a must. Let's look at the enemy. He has one of this wooden werewolf elf. He has a faun, which looks like quite funny. See, he has many special talents, 3 of them. He has lake fairies, and he has forest fairy. Let's have a look. The forest fairy can do a hunter's mark, so all enemy archers get a bonus and always inflict critical hits. That is terrible if the enemy has, for example, any elves with bows. See no bows, no problem. This one here can dispel freeze, burning, bleeding and poisoning. We do not have that at the moment, so no problem here. This guy can put our units to sleep and can heal his own units. That is not good. And this guy is simply able to transform himself into a wolf, which is bad because wolves can howl, and then your lower level units will crumble in fear and will not attack. And as you can see, we're very good at having low level units. So, just for showing you how this works, I will now cast a spell on my own units. Berserk. Ta-da! Now this little goblin is berserking. His attack power gone up a hell of a lot. And we could get forward, but I think we better wait and let them come. This is our little hyena. He can do this, and then he will do always criticals. Let me show that. Well, you cannot see that until we activate it, but now he's doing a critical hit when we attack. And look, here they come. Come closer, come closer. That is our strongest unit, our orc. We wait. We have no adrenaline at the moment. That is the reason why we cannot activate the special abilities. Oh, I forget something about Berserk. When you cast Berserk on a unit, it is no longer under your control. So let's go forward. Let's go forward. You will not like... Oh, I have no counter-strike against that because no retaliation. Normally you have retaliation when it's your turn. Okay, I think we hasten this guy so that we can go into combat. You do not get any bonuses attacking someone from a side, but you have sometimes units who can do special attacks that affect all ejected units. So positioning is very, very important, and you can cause trap on the battlefield, and sometimes there are obstacles on the battlefield, so there are many possibilities. You see, we killed an enemy and we get adrenaline for all our units, and that's quite good. Let's kill the next. We will get... Uh-oh. So what has happened? He has been hit and he gained a taste because... Let me see. Where is it? Yay. Adrenaline. I think it has to do with our adrenaline level. Yes. He is totally nuts now. Unshakable. Because of the trophies. This is this greed thing. Because we killed so many enemies. So forward to battle. Oh, we're just too slow. Yeah, he's a ranged fighter, so he will try to get away from us. And now, as we have so much adrenaline, our special abilities are now able. So, for example, we can move back, activate this, hit him in the sack, and then run back. It's like a buggy in Battle Isle. But what I want to do is, I want to grab what's on the ground. We find 880 gold. If you remember that we start with 1,000 golds, we nearly doubled our gold reserves just by this little guy here. And we can still do something, and that will do. Adrenaline for every orc. Let's go forward. We cannot reach the enemy, but we can throw an axe at them. Die! Damn, we're too slow. Yeah, this will not help you this time. So, we have enough adrenaline to do that again. You cannot always be king, but still it's powerful. So we can run away, not this time because this is the first battle, and we can do auto combat. You see, we have a lot of rage, but at the moment we cannot use the rage because we do not have the skill for it or the item. This is our hero. If the enemy has a hero, he will support his troops as well as we do by casting and giving them attack and defense bonuses. And now we hit him in the sack. Down he goes, and we got adrenaline again. The problem with adrenaline is that is a little bit loud. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a man that broke his chains. We get 3 experience, that is not much, and we lost a goblin. That is sad for us. Well, but we won. We got experience, we got rageful, we lost a little bit of mana, but as you see, it will recover. Yes, it already started. And the adrenaline, of course, is gone again. You only accumulate adrenaline once per battle. It only counts for 1 battle. We can take this little orc with us. This is a veteran orc. You see, he costs the double number of leadership, 140, well, nearly the double. Wait. Oh, well, crap. Not important. And this only costs 75. But he has more life points. And he has better attack and defense values. And he's a real killer. This little icon tells you that there is a quest for us. Is that you, Bargir? I'm glad that you're alive. When you go to take the guys who are getting prepared to fight off the elves near my inn, go to the dwarves quick and make good luck attend to your way. I wait until you turn with backups. The elf must find their death in Tristram. Sadly, we cannot buy things. It was only a quest. But we can really use units. Oh, this guy slipped past us. He's still weak. So let me show you one more fight. Now this guy has a spellcaster. A ranged fighter and a spellcaster here, the Dryad. She can summon thorns and she can put our guys to sleep, which is really, really bad. So let's try to get on these guys as fast as possible. Uh-oh, this is not good. We have been marked. And we've been put to sleep. Okay, now it's the question, what can we do? Nothing much at the moment. We can try to kick their asses. Our guys will wake up eventually. When they're hit or when the spell runs out of effects. But that's the reason I do not like wolves. Now you wonder what was this little red thing. Oh, and there comes this thorn plugging. Yes, there are units that can summon attachments to the battlefield. He's rabid, out of control, attacking all targets. Friend and foe alike. Okay, we should try to get distance from that one. Can we speed you up a little? No, not really. You are a very, very slow person. Ho ho. So I will activate that, and then I will take care of this ranged fighter here. They cannot do ranged attacks when I'm close to them. Okay, that does not work. I'm not doing enough damage. In theory, he could move away for this and then fire. If I do this on them, he will not be able to move any further. Bad idea, boy. Haha. Enemy ranged fighter down, sir. Okay, that is a special mushroom. Then we get more rage. At the moment we have no use for rage, so we can do this, and then they're pushed back and stunned. Normally you use that for movement, but here we do it for extra damage. That was not nice, not even close. Okay, he seems to be a ranged fighter. This little thorn guy. And of course we want the money. Hooray! I take you down. Oh shit. Why are they missing each other? Normally, haha, nice. This is a special ability of the orc. He has one attack and then he has another attack. And for that evasion thing, he has the ability to evade enemy attacks to a certain degree. You see, dodge, this ability. Very, very good. We will not attack now, because I want him to gather what's lying on the ground here. Yay, isn't that wonderful? Now we can do no more because we have no more adrenaline to plunder the corpses. So it's time for this guy here to die. I might be not explaining all of the game's special abilities or tactical advantages that you can do. If you want to see that, look at the other Let's Plays of mine and you will see what you need to see. And I hope this just gives you a quick expression of the game, and believe me, it's gorgeous. It's wonderful. It's totally worth it. It does not cost much at the moment because it's early access, and if I have one tip for your life is buy that game. Well, first marry a woman or a man or whatever you like. It's your choosing. And, well, find a life partner to say, and then buy this game. And there is one more thing I want to do to you. Well, not in a harmful way, but in a good way. I want to show those of you who are already familiar with the game, the skill tree and award of the other. Oh, there are new units. We've not seen that one in the first series games. Fire Elemental. Looks like a ranged fighter of some kind. No, it's only soaring. It's not firing. And a demon princess with a lot of special abilities. Ooh boy. Well, I like that. Call me what you want, sexist too, but that is a beautiful woman. And that is a very, very interesting dress. Okay, I will go over the awards. Those of you who know how to use YouTube will be able to pause the game in the point where what they want to see, meaning where the awards are different from the classes. The classes have different awards at some point. And of course I will show you the skills tool. I'm doing that quite fast, but this is only for those who already knew King's Bounty. I do not have to show you this. I do not have to show you this because that is the same with the Might Hero. Here only these are different from the other guy. And let's go back to the main menu. And let's get the last of the guys. So that is the vampire guy. Nice looking sword, by the way. Yes, he looks a lot like my friend Jan, who is living up in the north of Germany. He's Gothic, and he's a model for clothing, for Gothic clothing, and he looks very much like this. Okay. The vampire, the magic hero, has this special skills. His awards. Again, I'm doing this fast, but this is for the pros. So that is that. I will make a Let's Play series of this game, and I think I'm taking the Demonet for no reason in particular, and I would be very glad if you join me, if you watch the videos, if you enjoy the Let's Plays of the other King's Bounty series, and of course if you play the game and just have fun. It's totally worth it. Well, this is for now. See you next time. Bye.